Dear students, welcome to Swayam SHIKSHAA. Welcome to our mains Maniac series. So today we are going to look into a question which is from GS3, that is internal security. Money laundering basically, and money laundering is a very important topic. Okay, so see this question. Money laundering increases crime and also affects the economy and society at large. In this context, briefly discuss the recommendations of Financial Action Task Force to curb the menace and also discuss the case of making money laundering a separate independent offense in India. Now, most importantly, three parts of the question. Always for a bigger question, remember to divide the question here. See, one is we can see that money laundering increases crime and also affects the economy and society. That means money laundering's impact on economy and society is one aspect which you have to remember. Okay, this is the first part. Then recommendations of FATF. Clearly one side heading should be there. And third, what is the need for making money laundering a separate independent offense? Three parts of the question. Then we can also put a way forward, a small way forward instead of a conclusion for such questions. Okay, so one thing what we have to, for such questions actually, we should also know that there are certain acts already in place. For example, earlier it was FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, then came FEMA 1999-2000, Foreign Exchange Management Act. Then we have Coffee Puza, which is Conservation of Foreign Exchange and Prevention of Smuggling Activities Act, Coffee Puza 1974. SAFEMA, Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act. But all these acts are so liberal, then that is the reason we have PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is the main act, okay, which is currently handling money laundering. Along with PMLA, FEMA is also to some extent handling money laundering in India. But the challenge here is money laundering to be seen as an independent offense becomes important. Okay, so that's the third part. So here for such questions, you can come up with a small intro stating that money laundering is a mechanism of converting illicitly obtained proceeds into easily spendable format or converting illicitly obtained proceeds into white, which can be spent easily. This is what is a small line intro because there are many things to write. So the introduction should be as small as possible. Okay. Then the next important aspect is the impact of money laundering on economy and society. So there are two parts here. I have to mention economy and society. For example, when we talk about society, money laundering is increasing means you'll find more drugs on street. Okay, it can lead to fraud and corruption. Okay, and money laundering at times can also lead to terror financing. There are no exact proofs, but laundered money can be used for terror financing. It can also lead to other increased crimes like drug and human trafficking. More than that, when you see laundered person becoming rich, etc., the basic morale of the society, that hard-working morale of the society will also reduce. So these are some societal impacts. Then coming to the economic impact, more money, laundered money on street, more demand. So inflation in the economy will increase. Okay. And laundered money is unaccounted. Therefore, it will affect the tax collections of the government, or the tax to GDP ratios will come down. And therefore, it can also play an important role in increasing the fiscal deficits of the government because government is not going to earn revenue. Okay. And this increased demand due to laundered money, it is artificial demand. It is not the original demand, which is not registered. So it can give wrong signals to the government's monetary and fiscal policy. This is a very dangerous thing because you feel that there's a lot of inflation in the economy and you start tightening the policy. So it can give wrong signals to monetary as well as fiscal policy as well. So this is the impact of laundering on society and economy. Now there are different laws. Then second paragraph can be, there are different laws which are handling money laundering, like we have the Financial Intelligence Unit, we have the PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, FEMA 1999, okay, or as I have mentioned earlier, Coffee Puza, etc. So in spite of that, laundering is not still handled effectively and completely in India. This is a connecting link. And then going to the next part of the question, that is the recommendations made by FATF. FATF made hell a lot of recommendations, but we will only mention few which we can remember. Okay, so first and the foremost thing is, FATF was saying there should be a mutual legal assistance among countries with respect to money laundering. There should be an integrated approach. Okay, then it also talks about the Vienna Convention. Vienna Convention was very strict with respect to criminalizing money laundering so they were putting Vienna Convention into practice with respect to criminalizing money laundering. Now there are a lot of new technologies which are helping money laundering. So there should be risk identification, or there should be specialized people handling this money laundering issues with respect to technology. Along with that, mitigating money laundering and terror financing risk. Okay, so risks have to be reduced, correct acts in place. Another important aspect is most of the financial institutions are using secrecy laws. And this is also becoming a reason for increase in money laundering. Okay, or we have tax havens, etc. in place. So you have double taxation avoidance agreements between countries. Okay, they should be bringing in transparency. These countries should bring in transparency, especially tax havens. So these are some of the key recommendations made by FATF. Very important. Then the third part of the question, very important part, we generally miss out this. Why is it to be made a separate criminal offense? So why? Because making money laundering, generally money laundering is added to some other crime, and you have different institutions handling it. So making money laundering a separate criminal offense or a standalone crime will empower enforcement directorate directly to handle money laundering. Directly, enforcement directorate can take up cases. And one more important aspect is what we observe is the PMLA is not so effective. So today, if you see conviction, there's only one convict in last 15 years. So there's an urgent need for a separate making money laundering a separate criminal offense. Okay, so in spite of there being probe done by several agencies, ED can investigate it with great powers when money laundering is made a separate criminal offense. Okay, and this making it a separate criminal offense is in line with other countries also. So when we talk about integration with other countries becomes easy, because in other countries it is a separate criminal offense. For example, in UK, money laundering is a separate criminal offense. So it is better, it helps in better integration with other developed countries, thereby enhancing our financial intelligence. Okay, so that is something which you have to understand. Now, for such questions, instead of a conclusion, we can put a way forward where money laundering can be handled more effectively, provided there is increased in awareness, effective law enforcement in place, legal and institutional framework in place, a proper legal and institutional mechanism to handle money laundering, as well as enhanced international cooperation among countries. So like this, we can write a very proper conclusion for this question. I hope you have liked this video, you're liking our Mains Maniac series. Don't forget to share our videos or refer our YouTube channels to all serious aspirants, because we are going to definitely help you out with respect to your answer writing practice, including essay and ethics. Okay, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your comments are a booster for us. Please do comment in the comment box what you want exactly. And you can also ask what exactly you want with respect to topics related to essay, ethics, etc. Whether it is case study, etc. So that's all for today. Signing off. Thank you.